Yes, come in. Hey, boss. What's up, Christian? What's going on? Hey, not much. Um, just wanted to come here and let you know that I'm resigning from my role today. Whoa. Hold up. You want to quit your job to do what? Yeah, I want to pursue, YouTube and plants. Okay, let me see if I understand this. You want to quit your executive vice president, multiple six-figure salary for YouTube? Plants? I mean, it's what I'm passionate about. Are you crazy? Crazy plant guy. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. So here we are doing another houseplant video. And this time we're gonna do a little bit of a story time while we do a bit of planting work. For those of you guys who's new, my name is Christian and I'm now a full-time crazy plant guy. And if you haven't guessed by the title or that little skit, I'm gonna dive a little bit more into details and the reasons why I quit my corporate and executive job to pursue this full-time crazy plant guy life. So I'm gonna share the drama, the politics, the backstabbing. I'm just kidding, none of that actually took place. This is me just wanna hang out with you guys and share a little bit more of my life with you, as well as share with you guys a little bit more details and insights into what I've been working on and what's to come with the crazy plant guy world. So what I'm actually going to be doing while we do the story time is make a couple of prop box, which will include a few pieces of cuttings that I've been working on, that I've been growing, caring for from my own personal collection. And I'm actually going to put this up for sale for Alzheimer's Society of Canada. So it's a little fundraiser that I'm working on. And I think it's a great little box for those of you guys who's looking at different varieties of plants you want to get your hands on and grow from a little baby, cutting into like hopefully a beautiful and mature plant. But yeah, I'm excited to do this. So I got all our cuttings here. So I got a few of my gear here. I got our little prop box here. I got some wet moss and our cuttings, and we'll get started. So the first box I want to create is more of the philodendron brandy. So it's going to include philodendron brandy cutting right here. So it came from a stem cutting and it grew obviously through the node and the roots. And if you guys have seen my videos on prop box, you guys can check that out. It's a really great method to really get a lot of these cuttings or wet sticks to really thrive and grow. It's pretty much just using moss, putting in a container like this, creating like a little humidity bin, and then watching them grow. So I got my layer of moss in here, and now we're gonna start adding our cuttings. So for those of you guys who's not familiar with me and kind of what I've been doing the past 4 months, but prior to October 1st, 2020, I was actually a vice president of marketing for a technology or financial technology privately held company based out here in Toronto. And I was with them for about 7.5 years, and it was an amazing career, something that I'm extremely proud of, something that I really worked hard for. The reason why I moved to Toronto in 2013, and it was a lucrative career that I will always have with me. And it was a very, very tough decision for me to walk away from it because it was something that I worked really hard for. And to kind of understand, why I decided to leave that job, and some people think I'm crazy to do it, especially when they look at what I'm doing now, which is making YouTube videos and working with plants. Sometimes I wake up thinking, did I really just do that? But anyway, okay, so we added our brandy, and then we're also gonna add a Hoya cutting. And in this box, we're gonna add a Hoya Parasitica. So this is one of my favorite Hoyas. Here, you guys can see. It's beautiful. It's one of those like heart-shaped leaf Hoyas. Large, has a nice speckled splash variegation on it. Prior to me moving to Toronto, I was based out in Winnipeg, and I was actually working at another company there, similar industry, for about 10 years. And I was a marketing director. It was an amazing career. I actually started from the bottom as a call center agent, and in the course of 10 years, I moved up into a senior manager executive role there. And it was great. That's where I gained a lot of my experience and my knowledge in online marketing, especially traditional online marketing like search engine optimization, PPC, paid advertising, affiliate marketing, email marketing, all of that stuff, right? So it was pretty cool, but it was a career that was amazing, that I worked really, really hard for, that I'm extremely proud of. And again, to understand how I got there or how I got here, I kind of need to go all the way back to when I was probably about 7. My grandparents sponsored me and my grandma to come from, to move from Philippines to Winnipeg. Obviously, when you move from a third world country to a first world country like Canada or US, you pretty much like win the lottery. So my grandpa at that time had his own business, so he was able to really support the family. So when I came to Canada, we had a house, and the most amazing thing I can remember when I first landed, besides the snow, was a flushing toilet. I've never seen anything so amazing. I was like, wow, this is so cool. But yeah, so I was 7, and then a year living in Canada, my grandma got a stroke. So my grandpa, being the devoted husband he is, ended up giving up his business. At that time, he had a small business where he had all these contracts to do commercial cleaning for a lot of the commercial businesses out there, whether banks, malls, and whatnot. And it was very successful. I remember even visiting him in the office. But he gave that up to take care of my grandma when she got a stroke. And from that point on, things started to happen in my life at a very young age that I was really aware of. Repo Man came, took our stuff. I moved probably 10 times from the age of 7 to 18. There was a point where me, my mom, my grandparents, my aunt, my little cousin lived in a 1-bedroom. Actually, there was a few times like that. We didn't have money. And I remember at a very young age, I really wanted to make sure that I did not continue to live a life of poverty, to be honest. And I remember there was this calendar in the bedroom of the house that we lived in. I think I can remember from the age of maybe 8. It featured, you know how calendars were back then, before digital calendars, but they would have pictures and whatnot. But this had pictures of mansions and huge houses, and I was like, and every night I would look at that and I'd be like, one day I want that for me and I want that for my family. So long story short, in terms of my childhood, again, no traumatic events that took place, none of that stuff. It was good. It's just we were just poor. And then around 16, 15 and a half, 16, I got my first job. Okay, so we added so far a brandy, a Hoya Parasitica. We're gonna add a pothos in here. And then I'm also gonna add one of your favorite plants that you guys always ask about, a jade satin synapsis. We're gonna add 3 cuttings into this box. And yeah, so this is one box. So we have a brandy, a Hoya, a neon pothos, and then I'm gonna add a surprise cutting, which is going to be a Synapsis lucin, or an anodendrum, whatever you want to call it. So there's one box already. So we're gonna make about 10 of these, 5 brandies, a couple melanochrysum, and then 1 verrucosum. And then, I have different Hoyas as well too. I have the Parasitica, the Macrophylla, and the Angleriana that we're gonna make. So there's one box, and we're just gonna continue making more. So at 15 and a half, I got my first full-time job working at a call center, and I was like a telesales representative or a telemarketer. Hello? Hi, can I please speak to Christopher Smith? Speaking. Hello, Mr. Smith. This is Christian calling from CPG Credit Cards to let you know that you have been selected to receive an introductory low rate of 50.99% APR on a credit card with a maximum credit limit of up to... I'm not interested. I understand your hesitation, Mr. Smith. However, keep in mind that with this credit card, you will have... Hello? 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 Hi, Mr. Smith. It looks like we got disconnected. No, I hung up on you. Yeah, that guy. That was me. And I was actually really good at it. It was the first place I ever learned sales. I was one of the top salesperson, and I was really young. I was obviously a student. Yeah, I sold everything from long distance, book clubs, credit cards, pantyhose. I would call all the ladies and sell them opaque and neutral pantyhose. But yeah, I remember even getting my first paycheck and giving my grandparents money, and it felt so good. It felt so good to see the joy on their face, and it just felt good to help out. But yeah, so I did that. Unfortunately, I couldn't handle working full-time and then going to school, so I made a very difficult decision to drop out of high school. I think I only got up to maybe grade 10 biology, grade 11 math. I forget. But my family was supportive of it. They never, and that's one thing that's cool about my family, is they never once questioned what I was doing or the decisions I made in my life. All I knew was at a very young age, I wanted to start supporting myself. I didn't want to rely on my mom to, give me lunch money or money for my bus pass or transportation to go to school. I just wanted to just start, earning my own living, if that makes sense. So I did that. I dropped out of school and I did it for about 2.5 years, working at that call center. Again, it was great, learned a lot of skills. And then when I was around like 18, 19, I figured, let me change career here. Let me try something different. And then I decided to work at a hotel doing banquets. So it's a little bit different from like an office environment to more of a physical labor. So banquets pretty much is, you set up like banquet halls for weddings, grads, and then you serve them dinner and just, go through that whole thing. So again, I was good at it. And what's one thing about me is, regardless of what job I was doing, I just worked hard because I always believe that if you work hard, you have a great attitude, you'll progress. And I believe I was. My manager started to trust in me and all that stuff. But I did that for about a couple years. And then there was a point in my life, I think I was like 20, just turning 21, where I began to look everywhere around me, look at my friends and see that they were all progressing in life, that they had going to universities or just graduating university or college and heading into their career and meeting their partner and starting, wanting to start a family and getting married, all of that stuff. And I had a breakdown at the age of 21, living in my one-bedroom condo with my mom's partners, my aunts, my cousins. Thankfully, I had the room there, but I had a breakdown. And my mom said something to me that was really, I will never forget that, because I think it was the day where I really just kind of snapped and woke up. Because I was obviously hard, on myself. I was physically hurting myself when I was breaking down. And my mom said, life is hard. I've been going through it for however, almost 50 something years. Like, she's been living it, but she's still not giving up. She's still here. And for me at 21, and just because I was, looking at myself and looking at the environment around me, I knew what I didn't want for myself and what I wanted for myself. And for her to give me a reminder that it's going to be a tough journey, but you just got to keep going. It kind of just woke me up in terms of like the next job that I get. I told myself that I'm going to work my ass off and go for it. So a couple of months later, I got another call center job, which was a company I was with for 10 years, working at Midnight's apartment while I was still doing the hotel, eventually transitioned off the hotel. And I worked really hard. I was good at what I was doing. Because it was a small company, there was a lot of opportunities for growth. So I applied for this marketing sales rep job, which because I had a sales background. And my manager at that time was only him and a web designer. And he mentored me and taught me about online marketing and went through the experience. And like I said, in the course of 10 years, it was an amazing career. It was an amazing life. And I lived my dream. I was that young businessman that would travel the world and fly business class whenever I would travel overseas and eat at fine dining restaurants, Michelin star restaurants, party whenever there's a conference. It was amazing. Obviously with that role, with that title came responsibilities, came a lot of hard work, and came the financial rewards that came with it. So I was able to move out of my mom's place, rented, eventually bought my first condo, eventually bought a house, and it was cool. It was amazing. Support my family, help them out when they need it. But yeah, I was doing that. But probably in year 8, I started to feel like there was something more, that I needed more and I wanted more. That this can't be it. I was still, under 30 at that time and heading into my 30s, and I felt like I don't think I can do this for the next, 30 more years, just sitting in this office. Because, by the time that company became a corporate company, I had a team of like 25 marketers under me that, I mentored, trained, and they were pretty much doing everything. So I was literally in my office, or boardrooms or meetings. If I'm in my office, like bored as hell, going on Facebook, would walk in at 10, leave at 4. And it just felt like I was, I needed more. I didn't feel like my learning was also done. I felt like I could do a little bit more. Anyway, long story short, one of my contacts, one of my vendors, in the industry, reached out to me probably like in 2012 and said, hey, there's a startup company in Toronto looking to get into the industry. They don't have any experience in this industry. They're looking for a marketing person. You should go see them. You should go talk to them. At first, I was a little bit like, you know what? I have it good here. I got my family here in Winnipeg. I got my life here. Great career. I don't think I need more. There was times where I convinced myself that things were okay, but I was hungry. I still wanted more. So I agreed to meet with them at one of the trade shows. Smart people, great entrepreneurs, and you can tell that they were committed and dedicated. So, I went back home, not sure if I want to do it. Eventually, I flew to Toronto for like a few days to really spend time with them, get to know more of the team. And, getting on the plane back home, I knew I wanted to do it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn a lot from these guys. They're great people. They're smart, well educated, a lot of entrepreneurship background and experience. And it's something that I'm looking for. I need growth. I need to learn. I need to get out of my comfort zone and scare myself. So I sold everything back at home. I packed up, said goodbye to my family, and I moved here 2013. And yeah, so that takes us to pretty much the career I had for 7 years here. Again, it was a startup when I joined, so it had all the things I wanted that I was looking for when I was in Winnipeg. Get my hands dirty again. I was the only marketing person, so of course I did everything, established a lot of the processes, a lot of the concepts came to fruition, all of that stuff. And every year the company got better, and every year came more responsibilities, more money, bigger roles. So it was great, everything I wanted. But as I got older, and this is kind of where I am, I was starting to kind of get bored with it because I felt like I've been doing it for a long time. It was becoming a big company again. I was building a team. So, obviously there's a lot more people to, do some of the things that you used to do. And your days ended up becoming more meetings, boardrooms, strategies, presentations. So I was, me being the creative person and always wanting to try different things. I started my YouTube channel in 2017. About the fall of 2017, and then my Instagram around spring of 2018, partly because I wanted to explore how these social marketing platforms work, how the algorithms work, because like I said, my background was always been like search engine optimization, which is traditional more on the website, affiliate marketing, pay-per-click ads and all that, and I wasn't really experienced when it came to the social platforms. So I wanted to challenge myself that way in terms of like expanding my skills and also exploring my creativity. So merging the passion of plants, that's how Crazy Plant Guy channel started and Instagram channel started. Wow, I'm chatting a lot here, so I don't know if this video is gonna be super long, but we made another prop box here. So we got a Pearling Jade, Brandy, and another Parasitica, and then we're gonna add our Jade Satin Synapsis, and then a Lucin in here. Where was I? Yes, we got a root on this one. Woohoo! So working on, the YouTube and the Instagram, and even exploring a bit more in the e-commerce by selling on Amazon, it really kind of fed my curiosity, my creativity, and, me exploring a little bit more on the entrepreneurship side on my own rather than working for someone else. So long story short, about a year ago, I started to have these thoughts and feelings again, similar to what I was feeling when I left my job in Winnipeg, but it was from a different place. I wasn't looking for a bigger role or bigger money anymore. I was looking more for a little bit different. What used to drive me and my ambition, which was obviously title, role, money, was no longer driving me or motivating me, if that made sense. I was definitely starting to value time, freedom, creativity a lot more. And as the months passed on, I started to get really itchy. I started to have conversations with my boss about kind of where my head was at, and the mentor he is, he obviously guided me with a lot of motivation to kind of continue to find that drive to keep going. And for a while I was doing it, but oftentimes I would get pulled into those thoughts of like, what do I really want in my life now? The kid that had dreams, had crazy ambition to work hard, climb the corporate ladder. I don't want to negate all that hard work, but I realized that I'm not discounting that kid and that dream and ambition, because that was me. That was part of my life. I realized that I was changing. I was beginning to value certain things in life that I used to never value. Those thoughts were never gonna go away. So the right thing for me to do was to have a conversation again with my team, my exec team, my boss, to put a plan in place for me to exit at the right time that's appropriate for the business and for my team and for me. So we put that plan together, and yeah, that's pretty much what happened. COVID hit, which accelerated the plan a little bit faster than we had originally marked. But I wanted to pursue my own little business, which I knew eventually was where I was going to go after this company. But I didn't know it was going to be a crazy plant guy. So this was just a hobby, a passion that I started 3 years ago on my channel and on my Instagram page. But through that journey, and you guys who's been following me for a while, I began to explore a little bit more on doing e-commerce, selling my three-piece pot set. I have a coloring book out right now, which is also another revenue stream. And then obviously, YouTube, creating content, the ad revenues there. Like I said, it's never going to be, I don't think it's ever going to come close to what I was doing before, what I was making before. But that's another thing I realized is I can also live with less. As long as I'm able to, put food on the table, pay for the roof on my head, support my mom still, and buy plants, I think I'm going to be okay. But with that said, I also do want to continue to expand the Crazy Plant Guy world. Aside from obviously making YouTube content, having a coloring book, I do want to start exploring building my own merch line. I know a few of you guys have commented on, some of my plant shirts, so I do want to explore that. But what's next for me right now is I'm going to launch my own plant shop. Yes, you've heard it here first. I've never really said it. I joked about it a few times, but I am going for it. I'm excited because the dream is, so maybe the 7-year-old kid, still has the ambition and drive, but slightly different. But the dream is to have a little retail shop here in the city where I will have plants for sale, use it as a filming studio for YouTube content, continue to make these videos, host a few workshops, have a little coffee shop / bar in there. One of the things I remember when I went to New York and visited this plant shop was they had a coffee shop at the corner, and I thought the vibe was good. I felt so awesome and so comfy. So I want something similar to that. I want to offer a sangria to every customer that walks in. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that is what I want to do. Unfortunately, with the whole COVID thing, trying to locate a retail spot, very risky right now. So I'm kind of just waiting to see what the plan is for the city. But with that said, I am going to do it all behind the scenes for now. So for those of you guys who's been following me on Instagram, I've been kind of dropping a few hints or there what I've been working on. But I've been spending a few weeks now, for a while now actually, researching suppliers, getting an idea on how all of this stuff works. I did get my second batch of imported plants this week, which, by the way, that you guys see right here, that's me unboxing, and it's such a learning process for me as well. It's pretty cool, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. I mean, unboxing and unpacking plants and getting them acclimated, like it took me pretty much a whole freaking day. And it's a different kind of work than what I was doing, obviously, in the office environment and more of a corporate executive role. But I was loving it. I was loving it because it involved plants, and I love plants. And what's going to be cool about this is, I love caring for plants. So not only am I going to start caring for my own plants, but I'm going to start caring for your future plants one day. I'm just kidding, but it's cool. So for now, I'm going to do it all e-commerce, online, local first, eventually maybe move to Canada-wide shipping. And then who knows, maybe one day do international shipping, but that's a long ways to go for now. But that's the dream. That is the dream. And, one thing about dreams is they do become reality. It's just a matter of putting the work behind it. And I think that's one thing I learned. And yeah, sometimes I'll ask myself, do I regret quitting my corporate job to pursue this? No, absolutely not. Again, notwithstanding that I may not make as much as what I was making before, I'm enjoying my time. I'm enjoying the freedom. I get to work with things, with plants, with my passion, and at the same time also still feed that entrepreneurship and spirit that I have to start your own business, learn the ropes and how that stuff works, interact with your customers or with your audience. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited that I think the one thing I just gotta be careful with is making sure that I don't spread myself too thin or that I don't get lost in the work. Because I think if that happens, that's when you start losing your passion or you start not enjoying it anymore. So I'm just gonna continue to enjoy the process, enjoy this journey with you guys. And I'm so excited to share with you. Obviously, I'm gonna try and document this journey and share that with you all through these videos or my Instagram stories. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited. So, next video, I'll show you guys a bit of a plant haul. Not only plants I personally bought for me, but a few plants that I'm probably gonna start selling on my shop. So there you guys have it. Hopefully this story time wasn't too long or you guys got bored of it, but that is the reason why I quit my corporate executive job to pursue this crazy plant guide life. And I'm so excited to share this journey with you all. Just part of my houseplant journey, eventually, I think this was naturally where it was gonna go, along with all the other stuff I wanna work on. I wanna create a clothing line, obviously more books, more plant accessories. But first things first is plants, because I love them and I want you guys to love them, and I wanna make sure that I make plants a lot more accessible to everyone and a little bit more affordable to everyone. So I'm gonna work really hard on making sure I provide that for you guys. But yeah, other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, this little story time. And like I said, these prop boxes, we are gonna put this up for fundraiser. It's gonna be available on my website. It's only gonna be local, so for all my Toronto or GTA peeps, definitely keep an eye out for this. All the profits or proceeds will go towards Alzheimer's Society of Canada. And yeah, other than that, hopefully you guys enjoy your week, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.